tennis has like a big three. It always has a big two, big three. Chess has a big one. It's like basically the way it's always been.
And why is that?
It's inexplicable. Nobody quite knows why Magnus is so good. It could be a mix of like photographic memory. So he remembers patterns and positions in games from decades ago. And also he just has a better intuition. You drop him in any chess position, give him 1,000 chess positions, he'll find the best move in 1,000 position sample size better than anybody in the world.
Could he have made it out of that position that I stupidly put myself in? No, that was probably, like I could probably beat Magnus consistently up a rook. But if he started the game against me down like a bishop, which is a substantial disadvantage, with a clock, I think he would. Would he beat you on the clock, or would he beat you?
A mix of both, because I would be also afraid of him. I would change my play style.
You would play a more delicate game.
Yeah, I'd be more afraid of. Yeah.
How much does that play into it? How much is, you would always hear this with like Mike Tyson and fighting, where like certain guys lost the fight before they even got in the ring. You saw with Michael Jordan, fourth quarter, he comes back in the game, and then guys would get a little spooked.
Yeah.
Do you get the yips with your decision making in chess?
100%. Me especially. It's something that I've realized also since like late 20s, 30s, and I'm not used to playing and competing with such a spotlight. Like my whole life, I just kind of go to tournaments. Nobody really knows who I am.
And now everybody knows who you are. They're watching your games. There's all this pressure.
And also, I go home from a tournament game. Hikaru, who's the number 2 player in the world, already covered it.
That's right.
So the number 2 in the world,
by the way.
Yeah, he's like covering my game, and like here's the good, good moment, bad moment, and then it's way more pressure than I thought. And for opponents of Magnus, especially guys in their late 20s, 30s, 40s, like his generation, totally, like
so
definitely
you watch
afraid
them
of him.
Fold?
Yeah, they break at some point.
And how does that manifest on the board? Like for someone who knows nothing about chess, like what is a decision that they're making? Are they more defensive? Are they more?
Yeah, it's two things. So you'll get into a long game against Magnus, 4th hour, 5th hour. The board is simplified, but he's known as an endgame god.
What does that mean?
That just means when half the pieces have been traded there's no structure, nothing you can memorize anymore.
That's his time.
He somehow knows where the pieces go better than you. And so you're looking at something 5 moves down. He's looking at the same thing. You're like, damn, I feel like he has something there. He's going to get my pawn. He's going to get his knight to like this square. And
no.
What's amazing is like, I won't go for that. I'm going to do something else because I feel like in that type of position, he'll get me. But the computer is like, there's nothing there. Just go there. Just go to this like position that doesn't look very.
So if you could take the emotion out of it, you'd actually probably play better against him.
Yeah, everybody would. Having said that, we're like living in the midst of his worst tournament ever in like 10 years.
The Norway tournament.
Yeah, he's playing in Norway and he's lost 4 games, which hasn't happened in 11 years, and he's losing to the next generation, and it's going to happen. I mean, Father Time is undefeated. At some point, he will lose more than he wins, or he will lose more than he's ever lost. But that hasn't really happened yet. He's won the world championship like 20 times.
Can he pull himself back up in this tournament, or you think
he won't win it?
He won't win it because it's a points.
Yeah, it's just the point thing. It'll be the first tournament in 23 or 24 tournaments over the course of 3 years that he hasn't won.
Yeah, so here's his Cal sheet rating right now for this tournament. Versus Wesley So.
No, this is
just for the next match.
It's a specific match.
This is the next match.
So they have him at 64%.
He's still a favorite. I mean, he's like, it's the worst tournament he's played in 10 years. He's still a 2-1 favorite.
Yeah.
He's gonna.
But I was talking to someone that kind of gave me some perspective on this, specifically with classical chess, that when you're the best for that long, the will and maybe the motivation to get in and study, 5 different openings and get into your opponent's, burner account to learn how they play, that will kind of goes away a little bit. Whereas if you're a young guy, when you're playing Magnus, that is the only game you're thinking about.
Yeah.
But for Magnus, that's just another game. And so you have this sort of motivation disincentive that happens, I think, when you are the best for that long. And I wonder if that's what's happening to Magnus now.
100%. And he's a father.
Right.
Everybody wants to get him involved in the next chess project.
Yeah, he's probably got business decisions, so he's not applying himself in the same way. And also, I imagine, given the amount of content that he has on the internet, like I imagine every game that he plays publicly is scrutinized, right? So it's like I imagine you could probably memorize most of his openings, the ones that he uses classically. You're starting to recognize patterns at the end game, as you said. Like, I imagine if there's some young kid who's been studying one person, it's the best person. So he's probably the most like known player in terms of his tendencies, right?
Yes. And yet, having said all of that, it's still the story that he's underperforming as opposed to he's getting outplayed.
Right.
That's interesting. They're framing it as he's playing poorly instead of these young guys are playing great.
Yes, and but that's still kind of true.
Really?
It hasn't, because it's one tournament. And so we are so used to, he lost a couple of games in the middle of a tournament. His odds of winning this tournament are now like 10, 20%. He just like roars back and wins the tournament.
Is there like a thing that happens? I've noticed this with stand-up. I've noticed it even a little bit like with paddle, where are you in rooms with like incredibly like successful people, titans of business, and because you're better than them at something that they really value, do they have like a very different social dynamic with you? With like a Bill Gates or somebody who likes chess, like does he act like a little like fanboy around you or something like that?
I've never met him. I have a very different and fascinating dynamic with successful people than a Magnus would have.
Okay.
His dynamic is, oh my God, you're such a genius. Like that's what, and so he gets invited to, he was just like, it was the most random thing. It was a clip of him and Eileen Gu at the science, I don't know what it's called. It's like a science development conference, and they introduced an award for some sort of research.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, like that's cool.
Yeah.
That's the stuff that he gets invited to.
Yeah.
Tech conferences, AI, a lot of the tech folks, they sort of want to be adjacent. I kind of get a lot of like, hey, I didn't know how much chess could be fascinating. I'm really into it. I played it when I was younger, and now I'm back into it in my 30s, 40s, 50s, and my kids play.
Yeah.
So the cool thing with chess content is, I never thought it would be like this, but it's one of the few things every generation of a household does together.
It's interesting.
Kids are not gonna, the kids are gonna watch like the Mr. Beast stuff, and the parents are gonna watch CNN. I don't know, like Fox. They're not gonna. And chess is not the same way. But I've seen people. I finished the collab with Magnus once, and I got into a taxi in France, going to Charles de Gaulle, and we're driving, and then the guy just turns around and goes, "Brother," I'm like, "Yes." He's like, "Was that guy Magnus Carlsen?" And I'm just like, "What?" Yeah, I'm like, "You play chess?" He's like, "No, I'm from Tunisia. I don't play so much chess, but that guy is a genius." And I was like, "All right, like hell yeah, So that's kind of like the Magnus effect. It's like, genius.
Is there ever animosity within the chess world where you will be around these other grandmasters or these grandmasters that are, the top 5, but you are more well-known in many ways.
Wealthier.
Yeah, better paid. Is there ever animosity from the chess world? They're like, why does Levy get this and not me?
I don't. So I think there's a lot of behind closed doors talking about a person, and I kind of hear it. I sort of hear the murmurs and the rumors. And the answer to your question, the short answer is yes, absolutely. And not just me. There's content creators who are women, and they get it much worse than
the sisters.
Yeah, the sisters. They get a whole different side of things.
Another one.
Yeah, these players don't like the fact that they have achieved the absolute top at this intellectual pursuit, this mental, cerebral type of thing. And here I am like breaking it down for people, and people care a lot more about, my content. I'm top 3,000 in the world, top 2,000 in the world. Like, why am I more famous? Why am I more popular? The only chess players in the world that really don't have these concerns are the ones that have achieved like massive success. And that's, the Magnus, the Hikaru, and some players who are, let's say, from India or Uzbekistan, where there's really good state sponsorship. So these players are superstars in India because they're world champ, they're top 5, top 10 in the world, and it's cultural. It's not really the culture to be like...
Usually it's a reflection of like someone's success and their financial standing.
Yeah, and
That's
chess
where
is...
the resentment kind of comes from.
I will say it's probably similar stuff in comedy. It's slightly different. Chess is, and I've thought about this a lot, it's the only activity in the world where the top athletes hate the top creators. Like, imagine in basketball if Steph Curry hated the professor. It's just what? But it has to do with money. It has to do with chess hasn't grown the way it should.